In regard to my UX breakdown for Meta's new UI, many people asked if there is some kind of override because they don't like this thing. So basically, if you've got Quest Game Optimizer, you can use it with a left hand gesture shortcut. So it goes like this. As you can see, it's invoking the Quest Game Optimizer menu, which looks like the Class C Meta UI. So now you can use this to launch applications and stuff like this. So for example, if I go for the browser, you're gonna see it like this, and then the 2D UI comes back until you close it, and even if you close it, you can use it with your left hand always. It's simply replacing the UI for the Quest Home, which allows you to add the metaverse portal and your avatar mirror. So nobody actually uses it, so that's fine. So how to do it? You need to obviously purchase and install Quest Game Optimizer. I've had it for a few years now. I think it's around $10, and the entire purpose of this application is to actually improve graphics in different games and VR, AR experiences. So basically, you can add profiles for games with different resolutions and stuff like this. So for example, in Onward, I use a resolution bump of 140%. You can obviously optimize and change the FPS, CPU, GPU, everything you want. So that's the entire purpose of this application, but some people use it as their default app launcher. So that's what I would recommend you guys who don't like the new Meta UI, because Quest Game Optimizer developer just told me 2 days ago that he's gonna release this update with shortcuts, and as you can see, it's working pretty well. So how do you do it? After you purchase this application, you need to go to settings, and then there is another tab here called shortcuts, and then you enable this one if you want to go ahead and use the new Meta UI. If you go to here and point for a second on this icon, Quest Game Optimizer launches. All right, so that's option number one. If I disable it, there is the Navigator UI, which is basically what I showed you guys. So if I disable it and then close this one, you can see that now it goes to the default left-hand gesture, which is this pass-through mirror and portal. So nobody actually uses it, so that's why I chose to use Quest Game Optimizer for this gesture. So once you purchase and install Quest Game Optimizer, you go to unknown sources and then just simply launch the application, and then I'm gonna launch Quest Game Optimizer and enable both of them. Now there is a third option, which I don't like, which is using the controller, but I never use my controllers unless I'm playing a game, so that's why I love this one. So basically this one is clicking your Oculus menu or Meta menu 5 times, and then it will launch this Quest Game Optimizer. So I'm gonna disable this one and keep the gesture and the hover 1 second on the icon. So that's what I'm gonna use. But you are limited to only one hand, left hand, which is basically not that bad, because eventually you got to remember that if I'm gonna go and disable this one again, and I'm gonna use this one, you should remember that Meta never allows you, like Apple, to launch their default menu with left hands. On Apple Vision Pro, you can launch this menu with the right hand and also with the left hand, but on Meta never actually supported this one. So my first thought was that I can't go out of this menu. Sometimes I find myself drinking a water or a beer or a Coke or something and holding my bottle with my right hand. So In order to use this new Meta UI, whenever I'm not holding my controllers, I can never use the UI without my right hand, right? So in terms of accessibility, Meta is kinda lagging behind Apple anyways. So once again, a good and beautiful UI doesn't mean that it's a good UX. In my previous UX breakdown, I told you guys how this UI is not the best user experience. It's beautiful, it's nice, but UX is not about pixel perfect design, right? So it looks nice, but eventually it's unusable in so many ways. So since you can't use this new menu with your left hand and you are only limited to right hand, sometimes you can do you need to use the controllers, and once again you are limited to right controller because the left controller can't invoke this menu because it's gonna invoke the menu I showed you with the left gesture. And sometimes you got this what I called in my previous video a bug or a glitch, and so when this happens, you can obviously use your hands and you can click on this one and it's gonna invoke the Meta UI, and you can do it with your left hand. Okay, so and then you don't have any ways to go back and get rid of this UI. You need, again, if you have a drink in your hand, you need to put it right away and then use this one to once go back to whatever you were doing. For example, if I had some application here, let's go again, browser. So when I'm drinking something and watching a movie or YouTube video, I can go inside this meta menu to open another application or something, but sometimes if I click it and I don't want to open anything, I have no ways to go back because this one won't gonna close it. All right, so you can switch to settings and stuff like this, but you have no way to get rid of this UI. You need use your right hand. So if you are limited in their default new UI to using only right hand, I don't see any problems with using Quest Game Optimizer with your left hand only. So that's why I like this one and also this one, because here at least you have a fallback, because you can also invoke the menu as I told you with this one, which is gonna launch Quest Game Optimizer even if I close it. So once again, meta menu, I'm looking at it and it's gonna launch the Quest Game Optimizer, and I'm only limited to left hand, but at least now I can invoke the menu and I can close it, which is something that you can't do with this default UI. So go ahead, purchase, help this developer. He's a great guy. He's always replying pretty fast. I just asked him about shortcuts a few days ago before he released this update, and he immediately told me that tomorrow he's going to push this update, and then he did at the same exact evening. So he's a cool guy from French, and I believe he's from French because he's usually writing his posts in English and French, and he did it so quickly. Then kudos, man. I'm impressed. And Meta, hopefully someone at Meta is watching it. It's a new nice UI, but you got to improve this UX. By the way, I've seen different YouTubers and Quest users with so different UIs. So this kind of layout that I have here with the profile, pass-through, application menu, people application, quick settings and notifications, you might have different layout. Some people have this home icon right here and vice versa. I've seen some people having the browser here instead of settings. I don't know what this Meta is doing, but they have really weird way of releasing updates, and whenever they do, everybody has different user interface, just like they do on Facebook. My Facebook layout probably is gonna be different than your Facebook layout, and I don't know why Meta is doing A/B testing on production. They've always done it, but Quest with Horizon OS, it's an operating system for the next computing platforms, which is AR and VR, and I don't know, they need to go back to their drawing table, learn from Apple obviously with their Vision OS, and not only copy this layout with a terrible UX, and maybe even go back and learn from Google, which is also making Android XR, basically Horizon OS is also Android, but Android XR does it way better. You don't have this clutter, you don't have this mess around it. I don't know, Meta needs to learn from Google and Apple. Alright, see you guys later.